I wanted to show you a few things about atomic learning. I think it's a really good tool for professional development, and it allows you to create your own professional development, which is quite a big thing. The first thing you'll want to do, and if you want to follow along, you're welcome to. If you want to just view this and then go look at it later, you're welcome to do that as well. But what you'll want to do is go to atomiclearning.com, and I've got that pulled up right here. I have the teachers all set up to be able to log in with your own accounts. And the reason I do that is so that you can track some of the videos that you've seen. You can favorite them, you can add them to your training, those kinds of things. So if you're at Atomic Learning, what you'll want to do is go to login, and you'll see your username, and your username is your email address. I have set one up for myself. That isn't really my username, but your password will be. So go ahead and type that in and hit enter, and then you should be logged in. If you want to stop this video so that everybody gets logged in, that would be great. If everybody's logged in, we can move on. Okay, what I'd like to show you is just certain areas. Right along the top here we have home, tools, support, and solutions. These are typically not things that you'll be using a lot. Feel free to look at them, but most of what you'll be doing are in the tabs down here and in the pull-down menus down here. So if we just look at this briefly, home, you can go to your favorites, your training, your spotlight. Basically, you've got it right down here in your tabs. For tools, you'll see a few skill assessments if you'd like to take a look at that. I think we have access to skills assessment until the end of this year. I'm not sure what the AEA is negotiating for next year. We have standards and assessments, those kinds of things. For support, if you have trouble, this is pretty straightforward, so typically you probably won't need a ton of help with it. In solutions, basically what we have here, we have over on the left, and we'll be taking a look at that as well. So let's get to these tools. We have favorites. I don't have any favorites set up, and I'll show you how to do that. We have my training. Again, I'll show you how to do that. Spotlights, creating engaging presentations. If you click on that, what will happen is you have a whole ton of resources for creating that. In order to get back to your home, I just click on the AEA online, and that takes me back. My school's training. State of Iowa has custom training. I've asked if we can remove that. They've said no, so I ignore it. I don't pay any attention to it. I've tried to remove it and tried to find a way to remove it because, of course, I don't follow directions. So anyway, it's just there. If you're interested in any of this, go ahead and check it out. I want to create my own, so I pay no attention to that. If we go back to search, if we look here, we can get a list of all the applications that they possibly have to offer. And this is amazing, you guys. There are just tons and tons of things. So you're going to say, okay, how do I know if we have it? Some of it you will definitely know that we have if it's a Microsoft Office suite kind of thing. Your best bet is to figure out that if we have the software, the latest version is probably what we're using. You know, with Office, it's 2013. With Moodle, it's currently at 2.8. I think they have instructions for 2.7. But you just have a ton of things. I would recommend you just scroll through these and find something that's interesting and just take a look at it. If we look at Excel 2013, we can scroll down and you can just see here that there are just a ton of ideas, or tutorials, I mean. If you click all, that should show us all. Currently there are this many, 10. If we do what's new, click on that. What you'll notice with these videos is that they're very short in length, which is really good, because if you've decided what you'll learn in this training is not something you want, you just go on to the next video. Also, what I recommend doing is if you're looking through these and you don't have time to view the video now, you can set a star, which is your favorites. And let's say I don't know how to sign into my Microsoft account. I can check that, and I want to insert online pictures. Oh, that's interesting, and I want to know how to share my files. If I just check those things, later on when I scroll up or I go back home and I look in my favorites tab, I can see that I've checked those, check beside them. So let's say I want to go back to Microsoft Office. I can type it in here. What was it? I think it was Excel. Let's look at Excel. I'm just going to see what it has for Excel. In 2013, I'm going to show more than those rows. I'll show them all. 2013. Let's say I really want to do pivot tables training. I mean, you know, like, don't we all want to do pivot tables training? Later on, if you view the videos, they will come up as having a green. Here are all my sections and options, and these turn green if you viewed them, so you can always see what you viewed. And let's say I want to challenge myself and I want to assign pivot tables to myself. I would go to assign to myself, and I want to call it Excel pivot tables. You have to select a due date. So I'm going to be really challenging myself, and I'm going to have it by the 21st. I can check all if I want to do all of them, or I can cherry pick. I can decide that I just want a few. I think I'm going to check all. And scroll down, you can see what you've checked. Go to next, and there we have it. I'm going to submit my assignment to myself, and it should be assigned. And the way I can check that is I go back to my home, and I look at my training, and I look at the assigned trainings, and there it is, Excel pivot tables. And I can view it, and I can also adjust my due date. If we look at spotlights, well, wait, I'll go back to search. We have topics in search, and this was kind of interesting to me. If you scroll down, oh, Friends of Atomic Learning. That was kind of interesting. If I go to Friends of Atomic Learning, I can look at these courses, the series title, Mastering Excel 2013, WordPress. We do have WordPress if you're interested in that. What's new in Excel? There's some just things in there, just some things to look at. Let's go to all. What you'll want to do is make sure that when you look at all of this, you know whether or not you have the application that they're showing. For example, if we want to create Boulder Dodge games with ActionScript, I don't think we have ActionScript. We may have Flash in our Adobe suite, but you'll just want to make sure that you look at this middle column to make sure we have the application. So when you're finished at looking at this, you can just click the red X. Something about the categories. I thought this was interesting as well. We have how-to tutorials. We also have workshops, and we'll just take a quick look at workshops. And if I see all, we've got internet safety. If you wanted to use any of these with your students, the way they would log into them is to use the generic 4149 MOCFV and whatever, you know, if you're at the middle school, it's MOCFVM. And if you want to use this and you're not sure what the generic login is, you can talk to one of the people in the library to get that code, or email me quickly and I can send you what that is. But here's a bunch of topics that might be interesting. Twitter for educators. If you go into it and look, just take a look at how it's used in the classroom. getting started. This is not a how-to. I'm sure there are Twitter how-tos, but this just goes beyond how-to. They're going to take a look at how it's used in the classroom. So, you know, when you search for Twitter, or whatever it is you're searching for, you're going to want to look at some of these other things as well. Okay, so I'll go back to home, and I wanted to show you the projects. If you look at projects, we'll let it go here. Let's say, oh, actually, you could do projects and you could go by device. I don't. I just like to see them all. I can either go by page, as you see right here, or I can show everything. I always like to show everything. I'm going to do, create an online spreadsheet. You've got that, but there's one called Create Easy Links. Well, let's just search for it. Create Easy Links. And no data available. So it may not be in the projects. So I'm going to create easy links. Well, it would help if I spelled it right. Spelling counts. Yes, I know. Okay, now easy links. I do not know why it's doing that. But anyway, there are a lot of projects. What you'll find with the projects is, well, hang on. Extra. Let's say we're using Google Docs. If we go into this project, it gives you a description. It tells you what grade range you're at. It gives you an example, and then you have a lot of resources that you can download. But there are also videos. If you want to learn how to use this site, there are actually Atomic Learning tutorials on how to use Atomic Learning, and that was kind of interesting as well. But one of the things that I thought was really cool too, and Marlene and I found featured training and resources. The 4 C's in your classroom, integrating the 4 C's. If you look at that and you scroll down, you can take a look that it talks about collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. And you can just look through some of those kinds of things if you're interested in that. Something else that Marlene and I found as well was the What's Hot. It'll give you some ideas on some of the new tech things that are out there. Kahoot training, right here. If we want to look at Kahoot online training, that takes us right to Kahoot. And you could set these as your favorites, or you could assign it to yourself. So, go back to the home page and see if there's anything else. I guess my recommendation for you is to just totally search through this, take a look. I'd like for you to have the rest of the time today to take a look through this and assign yourself some things, or click on some favorites that you want to come back to later. Just know that, again, anything you use, we probably have the latest version, and thanks to our wonderful tech department. And if you have questions on whether or not we have that application, please just shoot me a quick email and I can get right back to you and let you know yes or no, we have it. Enjoy and have fun with it. Thanks.